mountains, many.
Yes.
And we are excited to have her here with us today, to hear of her many trips and how she climbed Mount Everest.
Yes.
And how she overcame the obstacles and saw the opportunities and worked in team and did it all.
Thank you so much for letting me be with you here today and take you to a very, very special place, to that tiny little snowfield way up in the sky where the earth touches the heavens. Mount Everest, or as the Tibetans and the Sherpas call the highest mountain in the world, Chomolungma, Mother Goddess of the world. She stands 8,848 meters tall, or just above 29,000 feet. Out of 100 climbers, 80 will go home disappointed. And 1 in every 15 climbers who actually does reach the summit will die on his way coming down. There is only one reason why climbers die on Mount Everest, but there are more than 100 reasons why a team doesn't make it to the top. Avalanches, steep ice falls, raging winter storms are not the main reason for failure. The main reason why so many teams fail in their attempt is because on the mountain they face the same difficulties that we all face in real-life challenges. To pick yourself up after severe setbacks and find the strength and the courage to get back onto the mountain and continue your ascent. To keep your focus on the goal during all the small side steps and firefighting along the way, and to keep up team spirit in times of difficulty. To tell you the truth, there were also a couple of men that I met on the mountain where I also had my doubts. Respect is something you have to earn, step by step and inch by inch. It doesn't come for free, for nobody. If you want to reach an extraordinary goal, you have to be ready to fight, no matter man or woman, blonde or gray. It is never important that everyone on a team carries the biggest backpack. It's the differences that are important, different strengths, experiences, that make up the power of a team. And success rises, especially on Mount Everest, but on every great challenge, if you are able to join forces. The greatest challenge in climbing Mount Everest is getting the body used to the thin air. And we do that with the motto, climb high and sleep low. You fight so hard to get to a higher place, only to turn around and climb back down to where you started from. But as always on great challenges, there is the great unknown that suddenly comes in and kills the most ambitious plan. And on Everest, it was always the weather. How out of these great challenges that we all had been facing so proudly, suddenly unsurmountable problems arise. The Sherpas, they weren't only able to carry the heaviest backpacks on the mountain, but when times got tough, when it got difficult and the outlook was miserable, the Sherpas always kept their calm. They trusted the mountain, and they knew with unwavering confidence that with great challenges always come immense difficulties. And that climbing Mount Everest was about overcoming these difficulties and rising above yourself. And when my heart calmed down, I suddenly, because I was sitting backwards on the mountain, I didn't look up anymore into the daunting snow slope and the north face that was still in front of me, but I suddenly looked down and out. And those are the magic mountain moments, when you can all of a sudden see all that you have achieved already. I wish sometimes for real life that we would more often take the time and turn around and look back. I think we would very often see how many intimidating looking mountains we have scaled already. But there was one thing I knew that night. I knew that failure will not come from lack of effort, and that was immensely gratifying. I finally knew why I had come to climb Mount Everest, because it was the home of the gods, and you could just feel them that night. There's only one reason why climbers die on Everest. They die after they reach the summit because they cannot make their way back down. For one reason only, because they walked too long and too far, and they overstepped their personal limit. You have to know your turnaround time, and you have to ask yourself with every step, do I have what it takes? Not only for the ascent, but especially for coming back down and coming back and stepping into life. You don't have to climb down with me. You are also standing in front of mountains and summits that are higher and more massive, and in every way more challenging than any 8,000-meter peak could ever be. That you always find the courage to step out into new terrain, and that you always keep your goal very close to your heart during all the small side steps on the way. But above all, that you have a strong team around you that supports you when times get tough on the mountain. And also a strong team for summit celebrations. For that, I wish you all the best. And thank you so much for climbing Everest with me, the most beautiful mountain in the world. Thank you.